Ladies and gentlemen, we have a legendary legend of legends, very special guest and a friend of mine, Chase Hudson. He is the founder and currently the president of Hemplucid, who is our only real sponsor. We don't do sponsors at the channel because we don't do that kind of stuff. But because we believe in this product so much, it's our only sponsor, Hemplucid, because a number of things. And I just read about this, Chase. Your logo, and I read about it and it blew my mind and the hair stood up on my back. The P and the teardrop. What that means is basically your mission statement, and that's a promise to produce pure products. And I think that's brilliant because not only are you sourcing this hemp locally, hemp is sustainable, more sustainable than any other farming out there. I know that they're doing it in holistic ways where you would never accept any kind of big ag type farming to produce your product. And not only that, everyone in your company uses the product, and you've just been growing astronomically. So it's a pleasure to have you on the show to talk about what's happening currently, but more importantly, about the benefits of hemp. Welcome to the show, Chase.
Appreciate it, Diamond. It's good to connect with you. Yeah, it's been amazing, man. You've appreciate you so much. You've helped us out so much. You know, the information that you've been putting out. The first time we met, you were one of the people that helped pull the illusion, away. And um, yeah, I'm glad that we've stayed close, and yeah, just happy to be here.
Yeah, so let me get this straight. So when we met about 3 or more years ago, I think it was at OTF 2017, maybe in the desert there, and your company was just starting to spring up, and so you guys were still on the cusp. Your company was just becoming woke at that time.
Um, yeah, I mean, we were pretty much there. One thing, the conversation that just completely broke my mind was um, how how they were able to manipulate the masses with the global warming. That was one thing that I always had a hard time with. Like, how were they able to pull this off? And your explanation was just, it was like the last puzzle piece that I needed to, form like the reality that we're all living in. And it was very helpful, very insightful. It was one of those conversations that I'm very thankful for and I'll never forget.
Well, we appreciate you as a human and we appreciate your company. Hemp Lucid has helped so many people on our channel get off pharmaceuticals, experience life again, because a lot of these pharmaceuticals that are being pushed are not necessary. There are plant medicines that have equally beneficial effects. The unfortunate thing is we're not allowed to really talk about them as being cures or anything because the FDA comes after everybody, and there's the problem there. But your approach to the CBD aspect of plant medicine is what makes me love your company so much. Not only that, the people, every single person I have met in your company is someone that I feel completely comfortable around. I don't get any bad vibes, and that is very unique in this world. When you can go around a group of people and feel comfortable and you don't even know them, so that's why I liked all of you guys when I met you out there in the desert a bunch of years ago. Now, let's talk about the growth of the company. You're the founder, and now you're kind of stepping away in a sense, and you're working on other projects. Um, but you're continuing, and I have inside information. You're continuing to take care of your employees in ways that most other presidents and former CEOs they don't approach it that way. It's almost like your employees are the most important part of your company, not the product, so to speak, or the profit. It's the employees first, and then we go to the product. Can you speak to that kind of approach?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Um, we started this thing, and it was, it came through, my awakening through plant medicine, and just the downloads and the messages that I was receiving, and the visions, and um, I I'm now in a position, and the company's big enough now to where the people who are working for the company are helping me, manifest this reality. And there's a new social contract that's starting to emerge where, instead of companies just completely soul sucking, the soul out of human beings for profit, we take the health and wellness of our employees very serious, and um, we do ketamine treatments, that helps with it helps with trauma and like mental, I want to say, like, yeah, mental health.
Yeah,
It's
baggage.
it's
I
helped
mean, that's
me.
like the cure for baggage. If you have
Mhm.
baggage and you don't know, haven't dealt with it, you could deal with it all in one day or several weeks using ketamine treatment. It brings you back to reality.
Yep.
It makes you realize what's real and the false nature of your existence.
Yes. And it's been huge for our company. And then we just got back from an ayahuasca retreat down in Peru. Four of us, five of us, and what the type of healing that we were all able to experience. That's something I want to share for our employees. So we're looking to send groups of people down to Peru to get this type of healing. Uh, because and like you and your community and followers know, times are tough right now, and they're only going to get worse. And to be able to create a community where we can help each other, heal. um, I've always had the stance that, we need to get united now before reality starts falling apart, because you don't want to be that group of people that when it starts falling apart, you're trying to get it figured out. So my goal for the whole company is to make sure that we're all mentally prepared, physically prepared, and we're united when the real issues start. The things that are going on today, this is just a pregame. It's it's gonna get it's gonna get pretty rough, but
Yeah.
if you're prepared and you have a community and you're united, um, you're gonna be okay and make it through this thing.
Yeah, well, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Everyone knows that. And that's why we're here tonight. Um, Chase has graciously offered all of our subscribers a deep discount, 60% off all the products. Now, a lot of the products on the website are currently 60% off, but the new products aren't. And tonight we're going to get 60% off of all products for an extended period of time. It's coupon code BOOM, and you can get CBD products for your pets. You can get whole plant extract for your mental health and well-being, for yourself, and you can get the Calci products. If you're worried about THC or hot urines, Calci guarantees a completely clean product, which is almost unheard of in the industry. So, am I correct in what I'm saying? I don't want to speak for you.
Nope. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We have the whole plant, which is all the cannabinoids, so CBD, trace levels of THC, other cannabinoids, CBN, which is good for sleep, CBG, CBC, CBDA, which has very interesting properties. And then the Calci line is THC free, so people who are like government workers, DOT, people that do have to take drug tests, that product does not have THC in it. It is just CBD, which is just the isolated cannabinoid.
Okay, excellent information. Now, the reason we're offering this to you guys is because of what's unfolding worldwide. Now, pharmacists are quietly panicking in the last 48 hours over looming respiratory drug shortages.
Mhm.
And that's not the only drugs on the shortage list. We're going to share you this article from USA Today, where 30 common prescription drugs are in short supply in the US right now. And we'll also link you to the FDA, U.S. Food and Drug Administration source of drug shortages, where there's over 100 shortages of drugs worldwide because of the COVID-19 outbreak. And it's important that the public get this information on the drug shortages. And it's also important that they have an alternative. And so if you don't know anything about hemp medicine or hemp in general, Chase and his whole team over at Hemplucid have launched a YouTube channel. It's Hemplucid University. And everybody that's watching this program that cares about plant medicine and how it's been suppressed for over 100 years. I mean, this was available everywhere in the marketplace in the turn of the century, and then was basically prohibited during the Prohibition. By 1920, there was no more hemp medicine, there was no more alcohol, there was nothing. And they kept it that way until recently. So there's lots of misinformation on hemp versus marijuana, CBD, and how the actual products are extracted and what they mean for our society. Now, I interviewed this awesome woman who is an advocate for the hemp industry, not the CBD industry. She's with fiber and food, which are the other 2 points in the 3-point triangle of hemp. And so I think that me knowing you and her together, we can literally cover the triad of hemp amazingness. That the fiber, the afterthought of the CBD industry, can be used for building and other manufacturing, and that the seed industry, which is a whole different plant, can be used for the hemp seed. We just got a shipment today, 5 pounds of hemp hearts. It was very reasonable. It was under $100 delivered, and this big heavy thing came. And do you know how much nutrition is in there? There's like 4,000 grams of pure protein, plant protein, organically grown, and it tastes like if you like sunflower seeds and you get the right hemp hearts, it tastes like sunflowers exploded. It's like sunflowers to the extreme. It's the most amazing seed food I have ever eaten. So there are so many benefits from hemp. You can learn from them here at Hemplucid University. I went through a couple of these videos. I checked out Nathan, and he was struggling reading the script, which was awesome. But your whole team is so genuine, and they just want to help. And that's what I love about just the feeling I get watching these videos. What can you tell us about Hemplucid University and why this is a new project?
Yeah, so education, that's one of the, key staples of our company. We built this company off education. Locally, we're in Utah. We had to do a tremendous amount of education to get people comfortable with using the products. And then, once we saw the impact of education here in Utah, we're like, there's still, the general masses have been, unfortunately just so misguided, and it's on us. It's on us to educate the public. It's on us to, let them know the qualities of, hemp, not only CBD, but like you were saying, hemp seeds, hemp fiber. The shirt I'm wearing is 100% hemp. So we have, I think, almost 10 videos up right now. We have about 80 videos on the board that we're still producing. But there's just still a lot of confusion within the industry, and we're just trying to do our part we're trying to do our part and educate people and just help them understand about hemp and CBD and because it's the future.
Yeah,
CBD, hemp, cannabis.
I could
It's
jump
it's
in
the
real
future
quick
of this nation. And yep.
with a couple tidbits. Like you used to be able to pay your taxes with hemp back in the day. You used to be able to trade for cash goods with hemp back in the day. And since prohibition, the whole science of hemp has been lost. And so we brought it back and we made it legal, and then we made it legal through government channels, and that screws up everything. And so there was no implementation of actual industry to actually use this hemp. There are no seed hullers for the hemp seed industry. There are no fiber processors for the fiber industry. And so what happened, and this is glorious, this is the glorious nature of hemp. The genetics are so easy to manipulate using traditional methods with cross pollinating that we've created a whole bunch of super high CBD varieties that are not so good for seed production. They're not so good for fiber production, but they are stellar at CBD and other cannabinoid productions. Now, this just goes to show you how easy it is to diversify in this type of farming. And and what we can do in the future,
Hmm.
once there is in place the infrastructure for fiber and for seeds, is we could be growing a tri-purpose plant, one that's high CBD, high cannabinoids, that you can also have half of your field seed out and get the seed production. And in the end, all of the plant residue goes to fiber. This would literally be a boon to farming. Farmers could be making tens of thousands of dollars per acre in profit for the first time in farming history. But the industry is trying to prevent this. So we need to come together as a community to work together to implement new laws and to push these types of sustainability actions forward. This is good for all of humanity. This is good for all of human health. This is good for human nutrition. This is good for the building industry. The benefits of promoting hemp and creating the infrastructure to use it are a millionfold, and we are just at the cusp of it. Now, you guys just started a hemp water company, which uses CBD in water. Do you want to talk about that real quick, or are you under
Hmm.
some financial contracts?
No, no. So yeah, we launched another company called New Aqua. I've got a partner down in Florida, and it's awesome. We signed a contract with Anheuser-Busch, Florida, which is it's I mean it's so funny, and I get some joy out of it because it's the alcohol industry is now starting to distribute hemp products and cannabis products, and there's I wouldn't say there's a severe decline in alcohol sales, but that industry is definitely feeling the pressure of the cannabis industry, and they're not going to be left out. So to have a partner like Anheuser-Busch Florida, uh, it's uh, it's pretty cool. The
It's
times are
beyond
definitely
cool.
changing, and
It's beyond cool, Chase. Let me just bring this out to the public. 12 years ago, when I started my activism protocol, and then 9 years ago, when I helped start organizing for Occupy and all the other social unrest movements that were fighting back from big government and big ag, and then the March Against Monsanto, which we started organizing in 2011. That's 8 years ago, man, nine.
mhm.
And then we had the first worldwide march in 2012. The mantra, and I knew it after organizing for 3 years and just soaking in the energy. I had this epiphany, and I said the only way we can beat the system currently is to use the system. So I then organized legal marches where thousands of people could legally come out and constitutionally fight for their rights. And you're doing the same thing. You went to an industry that kills 77,000 people annually in America through alcoholism, and you're using it for a benefit because they're hemorrhaging money. They have the money you need to get a health and wellness product out there. And it's genius because we can literally shift the capitalistic market to meet the human agenda, not the corporatist agenda. So you're doing this for the masses, for the people,
Right.
and you're utilizing these, I don't want to say scumbags because they're your partners, but they know what they're doing. They're trying to benefit the community while they know they're tearing it apart. And it's genius on both ends. They look good, and you guys always look good.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny, and it's just the intelligence of nature. It's this movement cannot be stopped, and it's going to use the systems in place to eventually. No, I wouldn't say not destroy the system, but there's a radical shift going on, and it's exciting to be a part of, and it's fun to watch. I mean, the revolution is really here,
No,
and
let's say it's destroying
to
the
be a
system.
part of it is
It's very, we can use the parable of this disease. So what we do is we go inside of the corrupt corporatocracy, like you're now a subset of Anheuser-Busch, Florida, and you infect them. You infect them with health and wellness. And then they make millions of dollars on that, and then the idea blossoms. So what we do, we're actually destroying a dead idea, and we're rebuilding it through a rebirth process. Without actually taking down the
Mhm.
capitalistic model, we alter it from within by infecting it with a disease which is beneficial to humanity, not a disease which takes humanity out, a disease which spreads community health and wellness, takes people out of the hospitals, puts people back in the fields through connecting with nature. I guarantee when you take CBD products, you have an affinity to touch dirt, to go outside, to plant something, to walk in nature. You're one of those people. If you're looking for an alternative, you're looking for an alternative to health. You've searched that through alternative plant medicines, and we're going to bring that to another level. And that's why I think it's important to have this podcast and offer products at 60% off to everyone. All the products on the website, 60% off, coupon code BOOM, anything you buy until further notice, basically. While you're stuck at home and you're looking for something to purchase to make you less stressed, maybe to tackle some of those other issues that pharmaceuticals that you may not be able to buy in the future, try a plant-based medicine like Hemplucid whole plant extract. I can't say enough about it. We make anti-cancer medicines here for our friends and family using whole plant extract methods. But now we don't take the THC out because in our opinion, it's one of the most anti-cancer cannabinoids, but you can't do that if you're trying to sell to everyone around the country. And we appreciate your niche in the market as much as we appreciate our niche because it's a community. It's working together, sharing knowledge, like through your new university that we're going to do this together. Now, before we go off the cliff and talk off a tangent, is there anything else you want to say about Hemp Lucid and the direction of the company?
Um, yeah, we we're building a community, and our community is extending to your community and other people's communities, and the future of humanity is unity, and that's something that we pride ourselves on, is staying united as a group. And um, yeah, it's we're just trying to do our part. You're doing your part, we're trying to do our part. Other people watching this video, they're out there doing their part, and um, it's yeah, I mean, it's wild times right now. So the best
Yeah,
way to
now
get through it is to stay united.
Yeah, we're all cogs in a wheel, and and that's basically what you're saying. We all have our purpose. Now let's go a little bit more esoteric. Do you think that your company is going to be able to continue to ship product for the next 2 months?
Yes, as long as the main supply chain does not break down, yes, we will. We currently have a third party manufacturer or third party shipper that we use, but we have inventory in multiple locations. So if our third party shipper decided to, go into full quarantine, we're committed and we're dedicated to get products out to people because they're helps, and if the pharmaceutical supply chain is breaking down, the that's going to be that's going to be rough for a lot of people. I've got family members who have used CBD to wean off several pharmaceuticals, and it's you have to wean off of them, and just to abruptly stop them. That's what I worry about the most with the general public is if 90, I think it's 90% of our pharmaceuticals come from China, and it doesn't look like those boats are making it over here. And with the shortages we're already seeing, that's what I worry about. So we're here. This is our purpose. We're not going to stop as long as the supply chain keeps moving.
Yeah, well, the supply chain is breaking down. Our friends that invented the N1 oil, they can't get another shipment. So it's going to be 4 gallons of that thieves oil and done until several weeks or months. We shared a video about 4 or 5 days ago where some of the biggest ports where it's illegal to film, we got some footage from there, and there were no cans coming in. We're talking about like 80,000 missing cans in a single port. That means that there's nothing coming in to all the major box stores. And that will be a void for a month or more. So there literally will be no toasters and blenders and other stuff once it all gets purchased out. Amazon also announced yesterday that all non-essential items are going to be sold out until at least the first or second week of April. They're only going to be selling food and other necessary supplies, and only restocking those. And here's the funny thing that I think everyone needs to hear, because I don't know if they're picking up what we've just put down. And that's the fact that in the last 2 weeks, what we've seen worldwide is people that have supplies and companies that have things that people need, they're raising the prices. They're price gouging. In fact, a single liter of hand sanitizer 8 days ago sold for $800. In our town, as a joke, a 9-pack of Charmin went for auction for $370 to support our local cheerleaders. And these are just some of what's happening worldwide. And yet your company is offering everyone listening tonight 60% off. And we've even discussed, if it gets worse, maybe even a deeper discount based on need. And so can you explain to everyone the reasoning in that? Because I think that's what humanity is lacking, the reasoning.
Yep. Yeah, the reason why we started this company was to help alleviate needless suffering. And we don't have shareholders. It's just
The gremlins cut you off. You said you don't have shareholders.
yeah, no shareholders. We're just a couple of us own the company, and it's the founders. And we don't. The great thing is we don't answer to anybody. We answer to ourselves. And so our mission and our purpose and our intent. Our intent is pure. We want people to not suffer. And I come from a fire background. I've seen a lot of suffering, and the other founders, some of their background. that's kind of the common theme that united us. Um, so in this time, it's, we're for humanity. It's not we're not trying to line our pockets. We're building our community. We have our little homestead. We have our supplies. Um, we don't need BMWs or fancy watches. That's not what it's about. It's about the rekindling of the human connection and the human spirit. And um, that's what we're trying to do with our products, and that's why we're offering, such a discount to your listeners and anybody who hears this message. We're here for you guys.
And let's talk about the reality. About 3 years ago, CBD, if you wanted 1,500 milligrams in a tincture, you're basically going to be paying $750 for that tincture. About 2 years ago, if you wanted 1,500 milligrams in a tincture, you could get it for about $300 a tincture. And a year ago, if you wanted 1,500 milligrams in a tincture, you could then get it for about $250. Now your 1,500 milligram tinctures, I think, what is the retail? It's 150 now. The price has come down tenfold in 3 years, and that brings up the wellness tenfold in 3 years. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're actually going in about actually fairly recent or fairly soon. We're going to have a huge price reduction. We as a company, we decided to go we vertically integrated. So we have just very, very cheap pricing and manufacturing. So in the very near future, we're going to drop our prices, and it's going to be, we're probably going to be one of the most competitive priced companies out there. We're moving to certified USDA organic across all of our products, and it's going to be a volume game for us because it's like you were saying, it's all about health and wellness, and the more product we can get out there, and the more of this product we can get into people's hands.
Yeah, that's you just froze up, but that's what I found out when I was starting my own businesses. If I literally could cut the bottom line to where there was no profit and I was literally giving things away, I was actually my business would increase tenfold in short periods of time. People loved it. They loved the fact that I wasn't gouging anyone. They couldn't even believe the prices I was offering. And so they would buy in such huge volume that I was actually able to change in a particular industry because I didn't care about a profit margin. I didn't ever fly on a private jet. I mean, I was walking to the post office every day for delivery. And so I was the vertical up. I was manufacturing, I was packaging, I was promotion, I was everything. And then when I brought the profit margin down to zero and I was literally just covering my costs and paying for my latte every morning, I literally shook the market and the whole world shivered because I think at one point I had anyway, that's for a different podcast. I love what you guys are doing, and let's go on to the next level. Let's bring it up another level, and let's bring it to Crestone. Let's bring it to the Crestone Energy Fair, the longest energy fair in world history. For almost 30 years, these people have been talking about sustainability, alternative energy, alternative building, building a community, permaculture, growing your own food. And now, of all people, they've been talking about, listen, Chase, they've been talking about global warming for quite some time. They actually invited me, of all people, to be the keynote speaker at this conference. And that is the exact opposite of what they've been doing. But it's not, because they know
Right.
that I am 100% everything they're doing. And on top of that, I bring the science to the climate. So there's a lot of people waking up worldwide on some of the lies that have been perpetrated. And in fact, in industry, the whole capitalistic model is based on actual products that are beneficial being quelched, products that make the most money being promoted. And so, can we talk to the capitalistic model and how it hurts humanity for just a few minutes?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to the, soul sucking and the not the right intent. The people. I think it comes down to intent. What's your intent? What are these companies' intent? It's shareholders, it's big profit, it's their lifestyle, private jets, big bonuses, and I think that if you can, if the shift in consciousness, which is happening, and people go into business with pure intent, and it's not about the materialistic thing. It's
You said materialistic thing and then you just cut out.
Oh yeah, it's not about materialism. It's about community. If the people who get into business, if their intent is pure and they want to build communities, then a lot of good can be done with. Money's a tool, and it's just what is your intent with it, and is it about building and propping up humanity, or is it about big profit and being subject to shareholders.
Yeah,
And
you know what?
we're excited for Crestone.
Yeah, so let's talk about Crestone. I want to throw this out there. I'm talking with the organizers there, and I just went out to the seed exchange, and what they want to do is make it bigger. And I went last year, and it was huge. Like as far as fairs that go, like if this was in Durango or Pagosa, I would be like, this is big. But it's literally in the middle of nowhere in a town of 300 people. And it had like 400 vendors. It's literally mind blowing when there are 20 times the amount of people vending than actually live in the town. You've got a successful fair. And it's the 30th year running. And now they've incorporated my scientific aspect and sustainability outlook in the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. And they've even reached out to me and they want to add the plant medicine aspect to it because the energy fair now means not producing energy like oil and gas or solar or wind power. It now means human energy. And the most important thing that I've learned in 10 years is that I was able to sit quietly. And now this is after a 3-decade struggle with drug addiction that I had suffered with. And I had tried to
Mhm.
get sober time and time again, and it just didn't work. And when I found a spiritual solution to my problem, which I did, and many others can, and I'd be happy to tell them about it, and you found a spiritual solution to all your problems, it is based on self-reflection, and it can be accessed through plant medicine. And I've been a huge advocate for psilocybin for a while. And now we have ayahuasca that I'm well versed in. We have ketamine that I'm well versed in, and many other protocols, plant medicine based, that are making depressed people well again. They're making addicts well again. They're making abused people well again. And this is 40% of the population. We're not talking this is not a small group of people. Half of the public need this information. And we want to bring plant medicine to the Crestone Energy Fair like never before. We want to have an ayahuasca table. We want to have psilocybin doctors and therapists. We want to blow it out of proportion. And the reason is this is an opportune moment. For the next several months, the entire population of the world is scared. They want information and they want answers. And we can provide them answers like never before, which makes the Crestone Energy Fair so unique. What are your thoughts on what I just proposed and how can we manifest it?
Yeah, we definitely can. Um, I have I have a really big tight-knit community of doctors and psychotherapists and PhD neurologists that are working in the fields of ketamine and psilocybin research and MDMA research. I've also have um, another doctor that actually started the ayahuasca center that we went to. I could see if he's interested in that. And I would love to add, my resources and my community to the Crestone Energy Fair, because is what it's coming down to is observational reality. Like you were saying, this used to be a global warming community, and now they're starting to branch out into people like you and maybe some other people that are um, not a part of that anymore. And we're definitely going to be there. We're going to have a booth, and I can reach out to my community, and I could see if they're interested. And we'll talk more offline. But I would love to get some other people involved and um, help out and educate. It just comes down to education
Yeah,
and
and we're
the
looking at,
science and the research.
yeah, we're looking at a complete shutdown for at least a month or two of the entire world, let's say, in general, at least a distancing. And I think that we're going to get a nice recovery, and the energy fair is going to happen. It's such an rural place; it's going to be great. Um, I also think that the fear about this disease is a little overblown. The data that I reported on earlier
Mhm.
today in a video is showing that healthy people are just as at risk as the flu or other dangerous viruses they can catch that we already know about. So while the risk may be slightly elevated for the general public, and only slightly, it is a high risk for the elderly and the infirmed, which the flu and other diseases already are. So what we can gain out of this whole pandemic is that we need to take care of the people that matter the most, our elders, the our grandparents, and the people that we look up to and respect are the ones that built the community that we now live in. No matter how screwed up we think it is, we are living in some of the best times of all human existence, where we can get fresh foods and toilet paper by the dozens anytime we want, unless we panic. And I think that this is really a
Mhm.
learning experience for humanity on how to act. And we can really rise to the occasion here and benefit from what's happening, as opposed to consider this a loss or damage to the world. I think that this is an opportunity unlike any in my entire human life, where we can expand the consciousness, we can share knowledge, and we can grow together in ways that could never have happened in the past.
Yep, agree. I think we're gonna come out on the other side of this thing more united. I mean, even just being in the store, it's there's definitely this stress between people, but there's also this. It's like the boundaries are starting to erode, because it's in the end it doesn't matter what race, religion, color, none of that matters when everybody is trying to feed themselves. And um, some of those boundaries are starting to come off. And I've seen, I've the stores that I've been in, I've had very pleasant interactions with people, and I've seen people interacting when, before people just have their, you know, ear pods or AirPods in, and there's no connection. And so this seems to be kind of shaking those boundaries down. And I think we're going to come out on the other side of this thing more united.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing. And I think our listeners have really grown together tonight in this podcast. There has been a lot of real talk about real solutions and real effects about what's occurring. And that's to come together as a population to survive and thrive in the future and to share knowledge about things that have been suppressed. This information has been suppressed for too long, and we need to get it out there. So this is a call to arms to all of your people in the plant medicine fields. I know you were just at a conference with them. Let's get them all to commit to come to Crestone, and let's do it together as a community. Let's share this knowledge. It's late summer, August 15th. I'm sure it's going to happen. I can feel it. I'm 100% certain that this event is going to be pulled off no matter what happens for the benefit of all. What are your final words, Chase? And we love you. Thank you for coming on. And if you guys out there listening don't understand why Hemplucid is one of the most influential CBD companies in the world, I think you know now.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and love you, love the community. Glad to be a part of it, and it's this information that everybody who's watching and listening this, you're be proud of yourself and be humble, because it's almost like we've made it. Like we've made it through the matrix, and we all found the truth, and here we are together, and it's all about the community and health and wellness, and I'm excited to be a part of it, and to do my part and to contribute, and we're here for you, and yeah, we're excited for the times that are ahead. It's going to be rough, but humanity has always prevailed, so we're all going to be all right.
Yeah, we always made it. Isn't that the fact? And so we're here tonight to offer 60% off all Hemplucid products. Stock up now. If it gets worse, the discount will go down. We promise you, because Chase is a man of his words. So 60% off everything. It doesn't matter what it says. If it's not discounted, when you go to that coupon code, just put in BOOM, BOOM, lowercase, uppercase. If you could spell, you get the discount. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We'll see you at Crestone, and let's do this together, man. Let's make it happen.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, and love you. And anybody, if the code doesn't work or you guys are having problems, send us an email. We have a live chat. Also, give us a call. We have a wonderful customer service team, and like I said, we're here for you guys, and we'll get you taken care of.
Best customer service on the